Hey, Keith here at KG's Garage, doing some more home improvement modifications. What we're doing is totally remodeling the kitchen. See, we started pulling up the tile. We're going to be putting this flooring, the same flooring, throughout the whole house. And one of those modifications is making a wall right here. We're going to extend this wall to somewhere over here. And here's the wall. I built it already. I wanted to pre-build it instead of building it there in the spot. I mean, my first thought was well, first let me talk about this. This here, this width, this is a modular home, and I cut a hole here. There's a space right here, I think 2x4, 2x4, and a space. So this distance here is not any normal distance. I thought a 2x6 would work. I should have gotten a 2x8. That would have worked better. But anyway, I got 2x6s. So that's what these are, 2x6s. It's going to come up short. I'm going to have to, my plan is I'm going to rip 2x4s to make up a little spacer and put it all on here so the drywall and it'll match up to the other wall. Anyway, that's what's going to happen later. I'll show you that. But originally what I thought it was, I would build it here. I would put a 2x6 on the ground here, 2x6 on the ceiling, and then start putting the beams. Well, the problem with that is you would have to put screws in sideways on an angle. And when you put the screws in on sideways, it moves the board around a lot. Once they start getting tight, it pulls the board over, and then you have to do it other way. It gets to be a mess. So I thought I can just pre-build it and then stand it up there. I mean, yes, I know it's heavy, but this way I can just, right here, 16 on center is where I marked all those little lines. Obviously this one right here is not 16 anyway. And I can just take the screws and just screw them in right from the bottom and from the top over there. Fine. I tried setting the wall up. It does not fit. So now it's like it's a tiny bit too tall. I tried banging it in. Can't get it in. I beat the heck out of it. So now I'm trying to figure out. I need to shave a little bit off. I'm trying to figure out the easiest way. Do I unscrew this whole top board and cut? I mean, this is the proper way, I think, and cut these boards maybe a quarter of an inch. Cut every single one of these beams a quarter of an inch, then put the cover back on. That means I would have to either unscrew them all, totally disassemble this thing, unscrew it all, and just take it on the saw and just cut it. Or I can try cutting in here, just take off one side, just take this side off, and just slice one side with the handsaw. It might not be the perfect cut, so I don't know if that's the right thing. Or the other thing, which is I think what I'm gonna wind up doing, is I'm gonna get the planer and just plane this down. Just shave this top piece down a little bit. So instead of it being, so it's a 2x6. So this is supposed to be 2 inches. It's about 1 3/4, I think. Get a tape measure. Doesn't matter. See. Yeah. So you're at 1 3/4. So if I cut, well, that's gonna be a lot. I'm gonna have to shave off, huh? If I want to shave off a quarter of an inch, plain a quarter of an inch off of it. I don't think I have to go that much. It was almost in there. It was just a little bit too high. I don't know if it did damage to the ceiling. It just, you can't see it. But somewhere over there, it scrubbed it a little bit. Doesn't matter, you know, we're not going to see that part anyway. So anyway, I'm going to do something, make this shorter. This has to be a little bit shorter. Get it up there, and I'll show you what it looks like when I get back. And then I'm going to put some supports going horizontal every so often, because I mean, and it'll probably be fine, but I don't think actually walls have that many supports on them. But just in case they want to vibrate, I'm going to put a couple of supports in here just so they stay straight and stay where I want them to go. And then the drywall, I took the drywall's all in here. And then I'll start drywalling it. I gotta drywall both sides too. I know you're not gonna see this side. I still have the drywall it though. I think, yeah, it looks like the other side is drywalled, but obviously not painted. It's not finished. So I still have to do that. So I don't know how I'm gonna do. Oh, and I gotta cut this. This was on here like this, and I just took my handsaw and just drew a line, cut it, and I got a good line. I was right on. I didn't even cut the wood at all. All I had to do was just cut. It's actually just this little piece right here is what got cut. I thought I had to cut a little bit more, but nope. So anyway, it's a nice heavy duty piece actually. And there was a board here I had to take off. Anyway, but you know, this whole cabinet's coming out anyway, so who cares, right? Okay, let me get to work doing something to make this wall fit. All right, so here's the wall I built. And so this piece here, this wall, actually I could say it's same as this thickness here. This thickness here is like 7.5 or something. So I was trying to figure out how do I make this wall 7.5. 8-inch boards and maybe rip them, you know, 2x8s instead of the 2x6s. Anyway, I didn't do that. I bought 2x6s. So I got 2x6s, and then I got some 2x4s right here, and I ripped the 2x4s to 1 inch. So this is 1 inch. This is whatever which is actually, like, let's say 5.5, a little less than 5.5. So now this whole thing is almost 6.5, which I think will match that. So I have a piece of drywall here. Once the drywall's up, because drywall is in a 1/2 inch. It looks like it's a little off, but it could be because it's the round edge. But I'll be able to feather that, and then the same on the other side. The other side actually I think this other side actually matches up better. But once I put the drywall on there, and also what happens is when you have the corner here, I think this corner pops out a little bit. Because like this is flatter than over here. Anyway, whatever. This will all be fixed up. You won't even notice. Next thing is, wife said she reminded me, bigger stove's gonna go here, so this outlet has to move. So we're gonna move the outlet over to here. I already put the wall up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill through this. And then if you remember the way the wall is, it's got a 2x4, and there's a hole in there. So I'm just gonna drill through, hopefully hit that hole, and shove wire in here. I'm just gonna shove the wire in there, enough to be able to wire in here. And then there'll be holes here. I'll drill a hole here, drill a hole here, come up here into the box. And I'm just gonna leave the wire not hooked up, just in the wall so there'll be a wire inside this wall with enough to branch off of here until we start demoing this part of the kitchen. And I will connect it when we're ready to, when we get to that point. I'm not gonna do it right now. It just doesn't make sense to make more of a mess over here when we still have everything else to do. So that's the update on the wall. Now it needs a outlet, and then I'm gonna start drywalling it, and it's getting there. I moved on to doing some of the floors, so that's in another video. We're trying to continue the floor out this way, out this way, and then to our bedroom. And once we hit that bedroom door, then we can just do the bedroom flooring in there. Problem is that carpet, staples, it's a lot of work to get all that stuff up. Anyway, other videos. Thanks. Stay tuned for more updates on the wall. Here's the wall, relocated. Well, I wouldn't say relocated. I put another outlet in there because the other outlet's still there. I ran the wire in the wall, drilled a hole. I put a whole bunch of wire there, so when I do take that out, I'll be able to hook it up. And right now I just put 2 pieces of sheetrock on it. It's a 4x8. I need to cut some for the top and obviously the sides. And that's what these other, I think I have 2 more sheets over there. So that should be enough. It's actually going to be more than enough. Yeah, there's 2 sheets there. So it's got to rip. I'm going to take 8s, just cut it that way. Slap one here, slap one on the other side, and then whatever's out there, scrap for the top. And then I need another stuff for right here. And I forgot, I need to get the round, we have all round corners, so I have to get this round stuff. I didn't get any of it. There's round stuff you put on here and you nail it on, and it helps you build the corner. All right, here I am trying to put this corner bead molding on. It looks like this. Bunch of holes in it and a little corner bead. It's plastic. I bought that at an 8-foot section, which only goes up, what do you know, only 8 foot. I need to go 9, so I got to cut a piece of that, put it on the top, but I'm doing this 8-foot section first. I watched some videos online, and the way they did it was they put a bunch of mud, drywall compound, on the corner and put this on there, and then they just smooth it out. Well, it kept popping off. Like you can see here, it's not all the way meeting, right? So it keeps popping off. I mean, it was worse in some spots. So I put screws in it. I've done metal corner bead and put screws in it to hold it there. So I'm doing it here. I think this will work out a lot better. I'll be able to get the this won't pop up. It'll be planted there permanently. So I put a bunch of screws in it, both sides. It looks like a mess right now. I'm gonna go back and smooth it. I'm just gonna take it and just smooth it out. Trying to get all of the get the compound through the holes so that it will it'll hold it where I want it to stay. So I'm just gonna do that, smooth this all out. This corner is gonna be a mess for a while. It's I don't know, it's just gonna be a mess. I'm gonna have to sand that corner down after we're done. But I gotta smooth this out. It's starting to dry. I just wanted to show you the way I did it. After I get this, after this dries, and then I gotta, like this stuff here, I gotta smooth this out a little bit more. Then I'm gonna put a bunch of compound here and go across with a bigger blade that goes all the way across, like this blade will go all the way across, and it'll make when I bring it down, it'll make a flat line. It'll be on both parts of the corners, and you can see now this fair amount that needs to be filled up. And now get all filled up, and it looks smooth. You won't even know. All right, here's a wall update. See, I filled in all the screw holes, put a bunch of coats over here, so there was a seam here. Then I had to get this transition. This still isn't perfect. I don't know if you can tell, there's still a little bit of a gap right here. So I need to fill in this section right here. Come on, battery. Fill in this section right here, make that smooth so you won't see that transition. Over here is a problem. So I have to get this bump out of the wall which means I have to come further out this way. This is a still, if I go to the bump, there's still a space there, and there's a, this isn't that bad. There's almost no gap. So this is almost straight. It's just the transition. It looks like this is pushed out. So I'm gonna have to keep going further out to make this look like it slowly comes over and then slowly goes this way. Still gonna need a bump there, but I'll have to make it so you can't notice it. I didn't do anything with this. I've been just doing these sides and here. This is pretty good. Probably one more coat, skim coat on here will be good there. The sides here, I'm just gonna take it and I'm just gonna get some a wet sponge and sponge this all down, all this goop. Maybe sand it a little bit. I'm trying not to sand because it makes a huge mess. This wall over here is needs some more. It needs the same thing right in the middle here. I need to put some more mud there and then just smooth this whole area right here to get that transition fixed. Top is fine. This here is gonna be a problem. This is gonna be covered by the cabinets. Well, up here is gonna be covered by cabinets. So I have to get this part nice, but I can't really get around it right now with the cabinets and stuff. So I'm gonna have to do that once the cabinet's gone. Yeah, you can see like this. I don't know. Yeah, you can tell. I need to fill that stuff in. I put some water and mixed it in there in the mud, and it got way too soupy. So I just started running. And the top up there is that's pretty good right there. So then after I do all this, then I have to texture it, and I have spray cans. I'm going to spray can texture it. So I got one of these things. I think it's called a hocker. You put the mud on here, and you just scrape it off here. This is a lot easier. You could spin it around if you need to. It basically just has a handle. It's more comfortable for your arm and your hand to have it sitting like this on your hand than using the bucket. Here's the bucket I was using. The bucket you have to have it like this. You scoop the stuff out, and then you want to. Once you wipe it off, then you have the stuff on the other side. Then you have to turn the bucket around. It's hard. You just can't turn the bucket around, especially if it's got stuff in it. It's a lot more difficult. It's a lot easier. You could also, when you're applying the mud, you can put this against the wall and you apply the mud there. If it drips, you can catch it on here. So that was another good thing that I liked about this. If you do make it too soupy though, and it will just run right off. That's an issue, but you shouldn't have it that soupy. But yeah, I'll put a link to this thing in the description. I like it much better than using this little bucket. So that's what I'm using from now on, this thing. And then I got this trowel. I'm going to try this out on the next coat. So I can just trowel it. I've been using different size blades here. You know, I have all different size blades. This one's a new one. This one came with the hawker. It's good blat, whatever. But I don't know I don't know what size they are. They don't say on them. But just different size. And this is the biggest one I have. I mean, this is the one you can put here and you can tell. Anyway, different size blades because I was using it going like this. But I think I'm going to try the trowel. It's thicker. And I might be able to do a little bit of a job with this thing. It's easier to handle, and I can also go like this way with it too. So down, up, whatever. So I'm going to try this next time I use it. But almost used this whole bucket here. It's a 5-gallon bucket. It's about quarter full on this wall. It seems like a lot. But hopefully maybe with just one more coat, sand it, wet sand it, whatever. And this here I'm going to have to keep messing with. Small coats at a time just to get it going. And this should be fine. I just need to fill in the little mess ups. See, I missed this spot here, whatever. And then the corner, obviously. think I'll start doing the corner and make that look nicer. I'm gonna try to do these corners. I tried just smoothing out what was there. You can see how it's just all glopped on. I'm gonna show you in a second what I got to do this. And so I tried just smoothing it out with a sponge, and it's not really working that well. It's taking off too much over here and over here. It's not, so I went online. I found these two things. This is a bull edge trowel. So this is a bull edge trowel, and then we have this little thing. It's like kind of like a brush shape, but it's got also the bull edge. It's a little more flexible. I can show you. So this is one of the walls that's already done. It's been done with the house since we bought it. This one fits on here pretty good. You would load some stuff in here and just, or load it on the wall. I think what you do is you load it on the wall like this, and then you just come here and just smooth it out. The metal one doesn't, you can see there's a gap there. So I don't know. You would have the mud on the wall. Maybe you have to push on it, and I don't know. It doesn't quite. I don't know. I'll see what happens. But I can make it conform to the size, but obviously it's not staying like that because it's metal. Once it's flexible, once it come back to its original size. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use this one. Maybe it will work. I think it's just going to be, if I leave that much mud, that's a lot of mud there. I mean, I can press down on it harder. I don't know. I'm going to see what happens over here. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, it's hitting pretty good here. It's not the same shape as the other side. I mean, obviously, I need some more mud on here. So maybe this will work well. I don't know, I'm gonna try both and see what happens. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do next. I'm not gonna show you me putting it on. I mean, I'm gonna grind this down. If I go like this. I just need to make a mess and just get rid of all that extra stuff I got on there. Just try to make it a corner, and then I'll come back and I'll trowel some mud this way, and then I'm gonna try the plastic one first and see how it looks, and then I'll come back with this one. But this, I'm just gonna use this since it's metal, and it will just totally take the stuff right off. It's going all over the place. Whatever, I gotta clean up anyway. So, anyway, that's what's happening today. I should have looked for those things first. Oh well. Live and learn. That's why I'm doing the video. So you can learn from my mistake and just go buy that thing right away and not try to do anything different, because I think this is going to work out a lot better. Okay, so I did this side. This thing leaves lines over here. That's fine. I'm missing a spot here. I'm going to let this stuff dry. I'm going to come back and refill this in here. I put I'm trying to fill in this gap right here, because from here to here, there's a low spot. So I'm trying to fill that in. So I ran a line that way, and then I put the trowel from here to there, smooth that out. I'll fill these, like I said, I'll fill these areas later. I'll probably put another skim coat and then do the trowel from here to there and to get it. The corner. So it's leaving marks here. That's fine. I can get rid of that later. And how goes that? Oh, it's doing okay. There's some bubbles in the drywall compound. I thinned it out a little bit. Maybe too much, maybe not enough. I don't know. This looks like crud over here, but I think what I could do is I could sand it or wet it down, and I'll be able to smooth that out. I did this side here. I'm going to show you. So I just glob some on here, and I just take this trowel, put it here, and just go down. I'm a little bit of an angle because I don't want to dig this bottom part in. A little bit of an angle, and I just go like this. I'm not really putting that much pressure on it. I'm just going down. So I think I'm gonna have to come back and fill in the middle and stuff like that. So now I'm gonna go, since I'm down on the floor, come up. Problem is every time you stop, you leave a little mark there. Okay, we got the little brush looking trowel here, and I'm gonna just go here on the corner and just pull it down. Oh, look at that. Might have put a little bit more pressure. Now this thing fills up. Just dump it. Actually looks pretty good. Let me try down here. Okay. I wonder if we'll fix this side. Oh, what happened there? There's like a little bump. I already did this side, but I'm just going over it again. So this one works pretty good. And then I'm gonna come back and I guess I'll have to hit this here. Okay, there's the paintbrush trowel. Okay, so what I did was I did a combination of these two things. I gooped a whole bunch, tried to get the corner as much as I could. Put some here of the mud, right, on both sides. And I got this trowel, and I just, a little bit of an angle, went all the way down, but it didn't look smooth. After I did it with this, it wasn't as smooth as I liked. So then I went back with this, and went over, and this contours a little bit, it bends. Gave it a little bit of pressure, and it smoothed it out. It's still not perfect. You can see how nice it's nice and smooth here. I'm gonna have to sand it down a little bit, but there's some bumps here that were sticking out because I did such a horrible job the first time of just gooping it on there. I probably shouldn't have gooped it on how I had it, and it was all like runny and everything. I should have just left it alone, not even try to get to this corner, and just leave it. But I didn't know. This is the first time I'm doing this. So I didn't know what was going to happen. So I'm going to have to go back. Once this is all dry, I'm going to get this sponge, wet sponge, and get all the lines out, get this all smooth, and then see what we look like. I might go over it again one last time on here to get this looking nice and smooth. I guess it doesn't have to be really smooth, I guess, because I'm going to texture it after. But then I got to get this gap here from here to be the same height. And then I'm probably going to put just another skim coat of compound right here, and then trowel it and get that out. Probably sand this, probably that would be fine. So, because I want it to be flat from here to here. You could see I don't know if you can tell the walls here. It's not, the wall's all wavy. So I got to figure out how to get that smooth down. If I would have just left it with two corners and then came back and then filled it with drywall compound and then did the bead, it would have probably been fine. But because I did all that different sizes and just goop and stuff on here, it got all messed up. Let me look. Yeah, I don't notice any waving in this stuff here. So I don't know how perfect I have to make it, but I can see right here it goes in. Anyway, let it dry, see where we're at, sand it, and we'll come back and get it to looking better. It's almost there. I mean, the first time I'm doing corners, so round corners like this, so I don't know what I'm really doing, and I'm just learning. So, and then this looks like crap here, but this is the middle. So I'm trying to smooth this out, this transition out from the middle right here. This is where the old wall and then the new wall is over here. This is the middle piece. This is a high spot. So I'm trying to fill this in and stretch it so it's not noticeable. So I put the trowel here, like halfway. Put the trowel like right here. It's still wet. Right in the middle, troweled it down so this side is high. I'm trying to match it up to this high point here. One more thing I wanted to mention. Make sure you clean your tools right away. Get all of the drywall compound off of them. I just washed these all. There's still some stuff drying. But make sure you get all the drywall compound off. The worst thing is having a little piece of drywall still stuck on here, and you go to scrape it, and you get a big line or something. It's horrible. It's not a good experience. So yeah, just make sure, like, and then this thing here, because this thing flexes a little bit. You make sure you get all the drywall off of it, all the compound off, so you can still use it. Okay, check out my beautiful wall. The corners all done. This side is going to be covered by cabinets, so I really don't have to make this perfect or do much else with it. I did spray some texture on this side just because. I also fixed this piece here where this was bowed in big time. So I put some drywall compound on there, smoothed it out, threw some texture on there. We're still deciding what color to paint the wall. And then I got to take the crown molding. We're having, this is going to be a trick. The new cabinets are going to the ceiling. So I'm going to be able to take the crown molding from here, because I'm like, where am I going to get this crown molding? And I don't want to replace all of it, because it's the same in the whole house. So I'm going to take the crown molding that's here and put it here. I should have enough. And then I have to, then I have to do something crown molding around the corner up there, but I think I'll take this part here and cut it and make it fit this piece here. This way I don't have to figure out any of the angles. They're already done. So you got like some little triangle you got to cut out. I don't know how to do that. So I'll just make sure I take that off carefully. And all I have to do is make one cut, put it there. Sounds easy. And then take whatever pieces over here, put one there, and then over here. And that will look like the wall was here from the beginning of the house. Anyway, so I took 2 cans of that spray texture. I think it's enough texture. Try to match it with the other texture. So yesterday I spent, I don't know, an hour or so. Oh, I can see a little dimple here. I want to see what happens once I paint it. Maybe you won't see that stuff. That could just be discoloring. It's not actually a dimple. Once I paint it, I'm going to see if you can notice any of the waves in it or anything. I can't feel them. I can feel maybe a little bit, but you can't really see anything. But it's flat right now. I think once it's shiny, it might bring out the imperfections in the wall. But I did my best to try to get it as a smooth transition as possible in that one area where the old wall and the new wall meets. It was pushed out. So that's the wall. And next update, you'll see it. It'll be painted. That's about that last update. And then we move on to the next project. Drywall project, which is we're getting rid of this cabinet, cutting a hole right there so we can see out. Those cabinets will be gone. This pillar is still going to be here, right here. That pillar is going to stay there. I have to make this pillar bigger to match that pillar so it looks okay. So I'm going to have to use more crown molding from the rest of the kitchen. But I got to extend that out a little bit. These walls are thinner. Yeah, I think it's probably just 1 2x4, but that's buried in here. Over there it's not. Oh, actually, I think the wife wants me to build a wall out to match that wall. So I'm gonna have to add something in here to match that wall, but it's only gonna be like counter height, like right here, over, and then big opening right there, you know. So anyway, and there's gonna be some electrical I have to move. There's electric here. That can probably stay. The whole kitchen is gonna be all different. Anyway, I think that's probably gonna be it for the wall updates. I mean, I don't know if you would need to see it painted. I can throw another video up later if when it's painted, if we can see any imperfections or anything like that. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you guys like these home improvement videos. I know it's not car stuff. I would rather be working on cars, to tell you the truth. But this house stuff has to get done, so I'm trying to get it done. Alrighty, thanks a lot. Hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notifications if you want to get notified right away when I do a new video. Thanks a lot. See ya. Bye.